The night was supposed to be flawless. The Creswell Charity Gala glittered like a world made of champagne and diamonds, its vaulted ballroom filled with silk gowns, rich laughter, and music soft enough to feel like a secret. Elna Marlowe had spent the whole week preparing for this night, her first time attending an event so extravagant she felt like she was wandering through someone else's life. Her dress was a deep sapphire soft satin, a delicate slit at the thigh, a neckline she almost didn't have the courage to wear. It hugged her curves in a way that made her feel beautiful. Maybe for the first time in months, she thought she could blend in quietly, admire the art on the walls, maybe even dance once. She didn't expect the accident. It happened fast, a careless step, the sharp edge of a gilded chair leg, and then R.I.P. A tear loud enough that she froze on the spot. Her breath caught, heart jolting into her throat. She looked down in horror. The slit of her gown had ripped higher too high, exposing skin she never meant to show. Heat flooded her cheeks. She tried to cover the tear with her hand, but satin slid beneath her fingers, impossible to hide. People walked past, oblivious. No, someone noticed. One man. He stood on the opposite side of the ballroom, half in shadow, half in golden light. Tall, sharp suit, broad shoulders, dark hair falling slightly over his forehead in a way that somehow made the entire room feel smaller. Leon Vale, the billionaire people whispered about. The one who rarely attended events, and when he did, he carried storms behind his eyes. His gaze locked onto her, not on her legs, not on the tear, but on her. Elena's throat tightened. She looked away quickly, panic rising. She needed to escape, maybe find the restroom, maybe hide until she could figure out what to do. She took a step, trying to hurry without drawing attention. Careful? The voice came from behind her, deep, controlled, unmistakable. Elena froze. Leon Vale was suddenly at her side, close enough that his cologne, warm, woodsy quiet, wrapped around her. "Are you all right?" he asked softly. She swallowed. "I am fine." Her voice trembled. His eyes dropped briefly, catching the rip she tried desperately to hide. He didn't smirk, didn't stare. His gaze returned to her face with a seriousness that made her knees weaken. "It's torn," he murmured. Elena's cheeks flamed. "I know, I'm just trying to... Come with me." Her breath caught. "What?" Leon stepped forward, placing himself between her and the crowd with a protective ease that felt almost instinctive. "Trust me," he said quietly. "You don't want to walk across the ballroom like that." She hesitated, but only for a second. Something about his voice, his steady presence, made it impossible to argue. He guided her with a light touch at the small of her back, warm, firm, but respectful, toward a side hallway lined with soft, light and framed paintings. Elena's heartbeat thudded wildly. "Where are we going?" she whispered. "Somewhere no one will see," he said, his tone calm, almost intimate. Her breath stuttered. They turned down another hallway, one quieter, more private. She realized with a jolt that Leon knew exactly where he was going, places staff used, not guests. He wasn't just hiding her, he was shielding her. He pushed open a door she would have walked past without noticing. Inside was a small lounge, dim, softly lit, smelling faintly of orchids and polished wood. Plush chairs, velvet curtains, empty. Leon closed the door behind them. For the first time, Elena exhaled fully. "Thank you," she murmured, voice small. Leon stepped closer slowly, deliberately, his eyes scanning her gown, with a quiet intensity that made her skin warm. "May I?" he asked, gesturing gently toward the rip. Her pulse fluttered. Yes, of course. He knelt. Leon Vale billionaire, untouchable, intimidating, knelt at her feet, fingers brushing the delicate satin of her dress. Elena's breath trembled as his fingertips glided along, the fabric not touching her skin, but close enough that warmth rippled through her. It's not as bad as you think, he murmured. She looked down at him, at the way his dark lashes lowered in concentration, at the way he handled the torn fabric with unexpected gentleness, at the way her heart reacted like it had been waiting for his touch long before tonight. Hold still, he said quietly. If you move, I might make it worse. A soft laugh escaped her. I'm trying. His eyes lifted for a moment, meeting hers. The air shifted, not with heat, not with danger, but with something deeper, quiet, intimate, impossible to ignore. Leon's voice lowered. You shouldn't be embarrassed. It's hard not to be, she whispered. You look stunning, he said, without blinking. A rip in the fabric doesn't change that. Elena's cheeks warmed. He stood slowly, too slowly, his body rising, his breath brushing her as he came to full height in front of her. He was close now, close enough that she felt his warmth seep into her skin. So, she whispered, can it be fixed? Leon glanced toward a small armoire in the corner. There's a sewing kit in here. The staff keeps one for emergencies. You're going to fix it? She asked, incredulous. His lips curved into the faintest smile. I'm not letting you walk back out there like this. Her heart raced, but it wasn't fear. It was him. Leon searched the small armoire and pulled out a compact sewing kit, the kind meant for quick emergencies, not million-dollar galas. Yet somehow, in his hands, it looked like precision equipment. Elena watched him, stunned. You really know how to sew? He glanced over his shoulder, a hint of amusement in his eyes. I know how to fix a hem. My mother insisted her sons learn real-life skills, billionaire or not. The tiny smile he gave made heat flutter in Elena's chest. Sit, he said softly, gesturing toward a velvet chaise beneath the soft golden lamp. She obeyed, gathering the torn fabric carefully. Leon knelt again, but this time closer, so close, she felt the warmth of his breath along her thigh as he examined the tear. Her breath hitched. He paused. Am I too close? His voice wasn't teasing. It was respectful, careful. No, she whispered. It's okay. His eyes lifted to hers for a moment, dark, steady, searching before he returned to the fabric. Tell me if anything feels uncomfortable. Everything felt uncomfortable, and yet nothing had ever felt safer. He threaded the needle with precise fingers, his touch brushing the satin, grazing the air between them. Elena, he said while stitching delicately, why were you alone? She swallowed. I don't know many people here. That's not what I meant. She froze. Leon continued working, his brow furrowing slightly as he focused. You walked into the gala like you belonged in a painting, but no one was with you. No date, no friends, no one checking on you. That's normal, she murmured. I keep to myself. You shouldn't have to. Her heart tightened. Why do you care? Leon paused his stitching. He looked up straight into her, and something in his gaze, honest, intense, made her chest warm. Because I noticed you the moment you walked in, he said quietly. Before the dress tore, before you looked terrified, before you saw me watching. Her breath trembled. You noticed me? Hard not to. His voice dipped lower. You looked like the only real person in a room full of performances. A shiver ran through her. He returned to the dress, tightening the final stitch. "There," he murmured. "Fixed, but the fabric is delicate. Don't strain it." She laughed softly. "I'll try not to." Leon stood slowly close enough that their bodies nearly brushed, close enough that her pulse jumped. He held out his hand. "May I help you up?" For some reason, her fingers trembled as she placed her hand in his. His grip was warm, firm, gentle. He lifted her carefully, not letting go even when she was standing. Their faces were inches apart. Elena's voice came out barely audible. "Thank you for all of this." Leon's thumb brushed her knuckles, subtle, deliberate, electric. "You don't owe me thanks," he said. "I just didn't want you to feel humiliated." "I didn't," she whispered. "Not with you." Something changed in his expression at those words, softened, warmed, deepened. He lowered his voice. "Good." Silence wrapped around them like velvet. Elena's heart beat loud enough she was sure he could hear it. Leon released her hand, slowly, too slowly, his fingers trailing the faintest ghost of warmth against her skin. "You look perfect now," he murmured. "Because of you." He shook his head. "No, I only helped the dress, the rest." His gaze dipped briefly to her lips. "Was already perfect." Her breath hitched. Leon exhaled, steadying himself like the moment threatened to pull him in. "We should go back before they start wondering where you disappeared." Even as he said it, he didn't move. Neither did she. Finally, he reached for the door. But before he opened it, he looked at her again, long, soft, intense enough that her knees weakened. "Elena," he said quietly, "if you need someone by your side tonight, I'm right here." And for the first time that evening, Elena felt seen, desired, protected, by a man who hadn't let her face embarrassment alone.